Namaskar, Honorable Finance Minister, and thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I'm representing the travel, tourism, and hospitality industry, which arguably all of us understand has had the most negative impact due to the pandemic. Madam Minister, our biggest problem is liquidity, and you have addressed it. You've given us the ECLGS, which was a welcome move. My request is that the moratorium should be for 2 years and the payback 4 years, because it's too short a time for anyone to take advantage. People who have taken the ECLGS 1 are already paying back, and they don't have any income to be able to compensate for that payback. So a review on that would be extremely helpful. You also allowed us the restructuring. Now, the restructuring came with very stringent covenants, and we were to meet with 5 ratios by by 31st March 22. These were pushed down. 4 of the ratios were pushed down to September. But the most important ratio, which is your total net worth versus liability, is still sitting on March 31st. Ma'am, we have borrowed money from the banks to pay back the banks, so our liability automatically has increased and our net worth has automatically gone down. How can we meet this ratio on the 31st of March? Now, this was all done when we had the first wave. I don't think anyone envisaged the second and the third wave. So my request is that all these 5 ratios should be pushed down by 2 years. And my request is to take them up to March 24 and the payback period to begin from December 24. What this will do to us is it will give us time to stabilize. Otherwise, there are going to be NPAs, there are going to be distress sales, there's going to be closures, and most importantly, huge job losses. And I think if this could be done for us, it would be extremely helpful, because this is, I'd like to use your word, this could be a sunshine sector. Once it is standing on its own feet, hospitality can really contribute to the GDP of this country, besides providing endless jobs. Last thing, ma'am, is that we have a benefit scheme called SEIS, and this is for basically the smaller tour operators. There's a cap that has been put on it for 5 crores. Request is to please remove that cap. That's the only incentive these operators have. Thank you so much, ma'am. And if you give us permission and if your time permits, we're very happy to come and have a small interaction with you, because there are several other elements which we could share with you and take your advice on. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Jyotsna, I must thank you, because you have repeatedly met me during the previous budget preparation and also this time, highlighting the hospitality sector, particular difficulties that you have had. And I've recognized that in my speech, saying that sector, the hospitality sector, has had a particular difficulty. They've just not even possibly had a chance to raise their head in terms of revival. And that is why a 50,000 crore sovereign guarantee enabled funding is provided through the banks. But I think what you have raised today is a far more existential question of 5 of the parameters hitting you, and one of them really going to hit you by 31st of March. What I can instantly probably tell you is I will hold a meeting with you and the bankers together. You and the entire hospitality sector who want to come over, I will have my office fix up a time, call the banks also, so that we can arrive at something which the industry can, find a breather and also survive, if not prosper subsequently. I'll soon organize for a meeting in which all of you all can come and talk to the banks in my presence, and we can sort that out. Particularly on the question of restructuring, which was very severe, you said.